Rainbow is part of my life, as in Deep Purple is. I just got back together for a few shows because I wanted to have a blast on the Strat, and that's always good fun. But it's not something I will do all the time. I might do another couple of shows. Japan wants us and a lot of other places, but Black Moss Night is really my main music. That's much more challenging. It's not so easy to play. You're playing with an acoustic guitar. Whereas if you play with an electric, it's a lot easier because of the noise and the big amplifiers. It's just as good, the music, but it is kind of slightly easier to play.
So we know each other from a long time, and he knows this, so I'm glad he trusted me to do it. All those, they were different bass players with different styles in all the different bands too, many. But I think he needed people who could cover 40, 50 years of music. That's why you see Ronnie. He can give you the feeling of Dio and then the other singers too. I don't know. It's sort of like being in a show where you're telling the story of Richie's career. It's this. I know what's coming because I spent 6 years with Richie before, and I'm glad he chose me to do this because this is a piece of history, for him. People waited so long, it was 20 years. People were waiting. Some people were crying. I waited 33 years.
I think I want to say impressive. It's very nice. So far a smooth ride, so enjoying every bit of it. He knows what he wants, and that's all good, that's all fine. Nothing extraordinary, he just knows what he wants.
My parents are both musical. My mother is a musician, and my father is a great appreciator of music. So I grew up listening to all different kinds of stuff, but a lot of classic bands like Steely Dan and Earth, Wind and Fire, and groups like that. And then I started taking lessons when I was 4. I'm sorry, when I was 8. I started playing when I was 4, and they started me with lessons when I was about 8. And I discovered the first band that really grabbed me was Rush, and Neil Peart, the drummer from Rush, and that just blew my mind open. I didn't know these things were possible, with drums. The next band I discovered was Led Zeppelin. John Bonham, obviously, a classic guy. So I had these two sides. I had the very technical prog rock kind of Rush thing, and then the more kind of, laid back, intuitive sort of feel from John Bonham. And then from there got into like big bands type things, Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, people like that, Fusion, Billy Cobham, people like that. And then we get into, James Brown, what's his name? Stubblefield. I can't remember his first name. And then even going into things, I started to branch off into world music. Different, like African tribal music is amazing. Indian tabla music, completely different discipline, but the rhythms from that, I try to let everything influence me if I can. So I just try to soak up as much as I can. And it's a lifelong process. I'll continue to learn. That's not the first time. First time through, we just do 2 times, and then it goes into the solo.
It's amazing. I mean, obviously, it was very funny actually. The first day when we had the whole Rainbow Band together, and the very first gig that we did last year, and we came to walk out to do our sound check, and I walked right to the front, and I went, "Oh, this isn't my place anymore. I get to go back here," and it's awesome because where I am. Of course, you know, you're adding to the show, but you also get to kind of see it from a different perspective than the lead singer sees it from. So being able to like look out and see all the fans and how they're reacting to it and watch the backdrop and the projection and connect with the other band members, and it's just amazing. And of course the feeling that Rainbow is, you know, portraying and giving out there to everybody, the nostalgia, the amazing songs over the past 30 years or more, it's you can't beat that. It's an incredible vibe. So it's the energy is just off the charts.
Oh, the cooperation started 3-4 years ago. We go on tour with Black Horse Night, and yeah, I met Michael, whom I know for a very long time. So we are together since 20 years, working together, and he's literally the light operator of Black Moss Night. And yeah, and he asked me, "Do you like to come on tour? I need some guy help me out with the production management, doing a little bit here, this and that." And I said, "Oh, okay, I've time, summertime, no problem." So I did it. It was a lot of fun. So, and that's how all started. And then there was another tour and another tour, and then we started this Rainbow thing out. And it was in, I guess, in 2017. 2016 was the first ride with the 3 shows, and then we had 4 shows in 2017. And yeah, so we started this project.
So I used to play in a rainbow cover band in Spain. So I have some videos on YouTube playing some rainbow songs and the purple songs. So I think that was the deal about it. I just received a message from Candice through Twitter. So the first time that I read the message, I thought that was a kind of joke or something. But then we start to talk about the possibility to make these shows, and then I received an email from Richie directly, and then Carol gave me a call. So yeah, it was kind of exciting times.